Okay, so this is the new discussion tool. It's all brand new right now for the class that for you guys' class. Nobody's turned anything in yet, so it's actually really good because this allows me to go into the analytics without fear of showing a grade or anything. So I'm going to go into the full screen, and it recommends you go full screen whenever you come in here, and that's I would recommend the same thing, but if you have the ability. It may be hard on a mobile, but let me know if it is. So what I'm going to look at, first off, there's a lot of analytics built into this, so it's really nice. So for instance, you'll see right here in step 1, which is instructions, I can see that 20% of this class has read the instructions so far. That's analytics. That lets me know where it's at. And then the submission, it'll show me there when people start submitting, discuss with peers, it'll show me the progress there, et cetera, et cetera. So it shows me all the way through. There's the grading, which has, it provides for me analytics of where everybody's at. But this is the one that's really interesting. And you all won't have a chance to view this. So having the chance now of demonstrating this is really kind of a nice option that I don't normally have. So when I come in here, I've got, okay, in this particular class, there's 22 students, and then I'm able to go in and I am able to see who the people are in that. So it's broken out by groups over here. I grabbed this group because I knew that there were no names that were showing up in there, just the beginnings of email addresses. But what it shows me is what your overall grade is at that point, whether or not you've read the instructions, whether or not you've handed it in. You've got 4 discussions that each of you are supposed to, or responses. So I can see how many of those 4 responses you've done, total comments received. So everything that you do on this, I've got the ability to see who's done it, what portion, if it's late, all of that. And I don't even completely know all of the data that's going to show up as we're doing this, because at least in this class, nobody's turned it in yet. So another thing that is nice is that up here it tells you the next deadline. So one of the problems that I've had with my discussion software in the past is the confusing deadlines. So because I have people respond, and in order to allow it so that it doesn't disadvantage the people who are in early, I've always had multiple deadlines, and I didn't have a tool that could do that before. So now there's a deadline for the submission, so March 7th. There's a deadline for the discussion where you're reviewing your peers' comments, which is March 14th. There's an open discussion where you'll be able to see anybody who has posted to this discussion. So right now, you can only see the people in your group. With this tool and using this, you'll be able to see people from all the groups. So you'll be able to interact with people that are not necessarily in your group. That's not a required feature. I didn't make that required. The other thing is that it gives the ability for you, after they have done the reviews, each user gets to go in and you are able to select the most valuable contribution. So from the people who reviewed your submission, you get to choose whose response was the most valuable. And if people get enough of those most valuable contribution votes, that will actually give them bonus points. So it's not a required element for the grade, but it is the ability to get extra credit. And it's the only place that I give extra credit is through that. And honestly, the goal for that is to increase the quality of the responses that are coming. And then the last thing that you'll do, and I was never able to do this before, is reflections on the discussion. So there was no way of closing out the discussion before. You posted, the people responded to you, and then there was it kind of stopped there. It didn't go back to thinking back about what you had learned. That's now a part of the discussion. And from a pedagogical standpoint, pedagogical meaning the art and craft of teaching, this has you go back and close out the learning, reflect on it so that it can become more permanent. And then of course there's the grading aspect of it. And so I'm extremely pumped about this because one, it's going to give me the opportunity to help you all to understand where you're at in the discussion, hopefully elevate the level of discussion, and then close that learning loop by having you all come back in and do the review or the reflection part of that. And so that's going to be sort of the key aspect that the key elements of where this is different is it's just a much better tool to help you all know what you need to be doing when and how that's affecting your grade in the class.